Hey everyone, Jacobs here. Today we're going to discuss why Oppenheimer doesn't show the Hiroshima or Nagasaki bombings. Please subscribe before continuing to explore the world of cinema with us. Christopher Nolan's latest biopic film, Oppenheimer, is about the father of the atomic bomb. It follows J. Robert Oppenheimer from his academic beginnings through the Manhattan Project, and ends with a dramatic fall from grace orchestrated by government officials when he starts criticizing his most well-known creation. Oppenheimer is meticulous in its description and is based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning biography, American Prometheus. Care is made to prevent composite characters, and everything from a camping trip in New Mexico to an impulsive apple poisoning is included. It has everything, in fact, but the bombings themselves. Nolan presents the first test in an impressive set piece, the political maneuvering leading up to the attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the psychological toll the attacks have on Oppenheimer, and even the horrifying effects of the bomb in one of Oppenheimer's nightmare-inducing. Nolan, however, never portrays the B-29 bomber called Enola Gay discharging its cargo, or the peaceful summer days being disturbed by the deadly new weapon. Instead, we see Oppenheimer up early in the morning, waiting for the speech from Harry S. Truman, played by the marvelous actor Gary Oldman, in which he said that America spent $2 billion on the greatest scientific gamble in history, and won. Without a doubt, Hiroshima and Nagasaki's bombardment of civilians was inhumane. Even if it was necessary to prevent millions of lives from being lost in a more conventional invasion, it was nonetheless a shocking act of violence that every American citizen must accept. For screaming out loud, clothing patterns were burned into the skin. Should the culpability of the white man who made the bomb be weighed more heavily than the hundreds of thousands of victims who died in agony? The answer, of course, is no. Oppenheimer, however, is unique in that it doesn't imply this, which is a big part of what makes it an all-time great biopic. In fact, that sense of removal from the carnage is part of the film's whole point. There's a reason why the film is called Oppenheimer, rather than American Prometheus or Destroyer of Worlds or something. It is intensely focused on the man himself, to the point where much of the script was written in the first person. He is in complete control of events as the director of the Manhattan Project at Los Alamos. He chooses project employees, directs the project in one way or another, and confidently expresses himself in opposition to arrogant military man Leslie Groves. Oppenheimer shepherds the bomb to a successful test, resembling a cross between a mayor and a conductor, but soon realizes how little control he actually has over his creation. Bombings happened, but since Oppenheimer doesn't see them, neither do the audiences. The audiences just see his inner anguish, but he currently lacks inside information. As Nolan points out, he is in the same boat as the average civilian at home. President Truman, who is approached by Oppenheimer and expresses worry that he has blood on his hands, Truman answers with contempt. He sneers, "Do you really think the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki give a shit who made the bomb?" before calling the father of the atomic bomb a crybaby. Although it is startlingly heartless, it serves to highlight Oppenheimer's waning influence and to highlight another important theme: guilt, consequences, and how much they actually mean. Even before he successfully tests the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer has something to repent of. His relationship with Jean Tatlock results in her death, and his work on the Manhattan Project makes him an absent husband for his wife Kitty. By the time the bomb is made, and the U.S. military makes use of it, he's a haunted husk of a man, gaunt and distant with a 1,000-yard stare. He makes an effort to educate everyone about the risks of the hydrogen bomb and nuclear proliferation, and it is obvious that he genuinely believes what he is saying. But Oppenheimer's public penance also has a self-serving component, as both Kitty and Lewis Strauss, an Oppenheimer antagonist, point out. Kitty tells Oppenheimer, in reference to her husband's affair with Tatlock, "You don't get to commit the sin and have the rest of us feel sorry for you for there being consequences." But the same can be said of the bomb's development. There is only one point in the movie where Oppenheimer is directly faced with the horrors of the nuclear bomb. Unseen by the audience, a presenter slides over images from the Hiroshima aftermath, illustrating the impacts of firestorms and radiation poisoning to the people, which includes Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer can't force himself to look, despite his bemoaning, hand-wringing, and real concern for humanity's destiny. This one instance is more shocking and damaging than any dutiful depiction of an atrocity would be. If there's any topic that you want me to discuss, please comment below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also turn notification on. See you in the next video.